do duster in the laundry room. And I was like, rehab's kind of fun. But somehow I was in a hot tub at 3 a.m. I got arrested. Was smoking a lot of spice then, too, because it wasn't popping at the drug test for the halfway houses then. I should be, like, pawning more stuff. I'm trying to, like, steal my car out of this impound lot. I did it to black out my brain, just to turn off my mind. I couldn't even fathom 2 seconds of reality. And they used that as an excuse to Baker Act me. This is such a positive podcast. I was expecting, like, more ratchet shit.
Welcome to the Recovery Idiot. Please like and subscribe and visit our store at therecoveryidiot.com, the official headquarters of all things Recovery Idioted. Find us on social media and slide into our DMs. The following contains explicit language and situations that some might find unsettling. Viewer discretion is advised.
My name's Leroy, recovered drug addict.
My name is Derek. I'm in recovery, and I love drugs. I was thinking on the way here that even, like, still, I have, like, a philosophy of, like, and I don't even know if this is the right word, because, like, whoever uses fancy words, but, like, hedonism or hedonistic or some shit, where it's, like, you just, like, love things that are, like, pleasureful, right? That, like, make you feel good. And, like, even today, I still like that. I realize that I can't do drugs or drink, but it's like I'm trying to balance, like, shit that feels good, which is, like, sex, food, spending money, like, crazy experiences, with, like, oh, I've got to be spiritual and I need balance and I can't go broke and I can't be, like, banging, like, a bunch of people all over the place, or, you know, just doing all this stuff. So it's like I maintain, like, some sort of self-esteem and, like, feeling good about myself, like, not other people looking at me like a crazy asshole. But still, like, my philosophy is, like, hey, if it feels good or if it, like, makes you happy, like, do it, you know?
And then do more.
Yeah, so somehow, dude, like, I balance, like, that philosophy with, like, still being, like, a decent person, I guess, which is mind-blowing to me. Like, I don't know. Like, that's another way that, you know, there's a God, you know? Because that's up to me. I freaking get carried away and screw up everything. But somehow I'm, like, you know, able to enjoy life and do crazy shit, but, like, not get carried away with it. But let's talk about before I was able to do any of that.
Yes,
When
very
I
interested.
get carried away.
Because I've heard some stuff.
I don't know. I just started drinking and drugging in high school.
Oh, where are you from?
From South Florida. I was born in Boynton Beach.
So you're another original Florida person?
Native Floridian.
Oh my God! So you didn't have to go far to get sober, like everyone in the country who comes to Florida to get sober.
Yeah, but dude, coming up to Fort Pierce, where I ended up getting sober in treatment, is like another part of the country from where I was. This shit was nothing up here like 12 years ago when I came. Born and raised down in Boynton, Delray, Boca, Fort Lauderdale. I don't really like telling people I'm from Boca, because they're like, oh, you're from Boca. It's like,
Or do they ask if you're Jewish?
Yeah, they're like, oh, you're rich and you're spoiled and, like, shitty. And I'm like, that's why I got to say Del Rey so I get street cred, you know? that's where I hung out way more. Yeah, so I've been all over Florida. I went to, lived up in Gainesville for a number of years, too.
Me too.
Oh, yeah, I like that city, to be honest.
2012 to 2013, they have a methadone clinic there.
Oh, nice.
That's what I was doing.
Nice. Anytime I hear anyone say they're, like, on methadone, I'm like, ooh. I'm sorry, dude.
There's not a lot of success stories.
Yeah.
Like, you rarely meet anyone who was on methadone that's a normal functioning person. And I always tell people, you'll hear rock stars and actors like, yeah, I was doing tons of coke, I was doing heroin. There's nobody who, like, has a successful life who says, yeah, I was on methadone for a while.
Yeah, but it's like one of those other things that you can go to, like, a real doctor's office in a real clinic and, like, get it and, like, think you're okay, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, they're telling me, like, this is what I'm supposed to do, and it's, like, going to keep me off of other quote-unquote harder drugs and shit like that, you know? So the whole system in society is all screwed up. We can talk about that on another tangent, but
yes.
Yeah. But all right. So I drank and smoked weed. I feel like most people start with that. I would like to hear someone be like, yeah, I just started, like, smoking crack and, like, shooting heroin. Then I transitioned to alcohol and weed. I don't really heard that too often, you know? I don't know. It depends, I guess, on the environment you grow up. I guess I grew up with a nice family. They were supportive. No drug addicts, no alcoholics, no trauma. I have no excuses to fall back on there, unfortunately. Started drinking, started smoking weed. I was like, this is what life's about. This is the whole purpose. Yeah, I loved how it made me feel. I remember when someone told me the 9th step promises that you hear out of that book, like, someone shared that that's what happened when they drank. And I was like, shit, I completely relate to that. Like, my whole view on the world changes, my view on myself. Like, I can handle situations. I feel more confident. I feel more connected to people. Like just all these like crazy, extravagant things. Like that's how powerful drinking was to me. So I wanted to do it as much as I could, but being under 21 and, trying to stay in high school and stuff, it wasn't always that easy. Between my junior and senior year of high school, I got sent to a summer program and got kicked out
Oh,
because
so you were the bad kid too?
oh yeah, yeah. The first day, it was actually Brown University, like very nice program. And like I snuck a bunch of weed on an airplane. I think I like put it in a bunch of bags and like in a shampoo bottle. Like I don't know why like that thought that was genius, but like and I got it through the airport. So I brought a ton of weed into Brown University, smoked it in my dorm room on the first night, and like got out of an apple, by the way. Because that's the best way to do it. So yeah, hollowed out the little apple thing or whatever, smoked weed first night, got kicked out. And once they caught me and like kicked me out and like took the weed away, I like got a bunch of cough syrup and just like drank it because I was like so upset. I knew I was gonna have to leave the next morning anyway, and like didn't have any other drugs because I'd just gotten there. I didn't know anyone, so I was just like a sick person. And then I remember like sitting in front of them when they were interviewing me to be like, "We're gonna kick you out." I was like, "Dude, this is Brown University. Everyone's doing drugs here." Like that was my argument to get them to keep me. I was like, "Everyone does the drugs," and they're like, "That's a terrible argument if you want to stay." Like we're like trying to be reputable here. After that, my family was super upset, of course, blah blah blah, and they got me to a second program where I also got weed, and my whole floor of guys got them all high, including one of the counselors, and then they started interviewing us to kick us out again in the same summer for the second program, and that was the last person to interview, and the guy sat there and he was so frustrated because everyone was just like lying and telling him different stories and all this bullshit, and he basically told me everything that everyone else had said to him and like what he thought was the truth. And he goes, "All right, well, what's your version of the truth now?" So I just repeated back exactly what he told me that he thought, and he was like, "Oh my God, you're the only one to tell me the truth." He's like, "That's exactly like what really happened." I was like thinking, dude, you just like literally told me what to say. So and I just like placed myself like outside of like what he had told me, like I wasn't like really part of it. So somehow I like ended up staying where like the counselor and like a few other people got kicked out. We were all guilty. I mean, everyone had brought drugs and weed and stuff like that, but I was just as guilty as anyone else. So I stayed. But my high school found out, and it was a private school in Fort Lauderdale, and they decided to drug test me my whole senior year of high school. All right, so I'm like just starting to become like I'm starting to explore drugs. Like I don't know if I think I just tried like ecstasy, cocaine, mushrooms. I'm like my world is my horizon. I was so excited, and now I'm like being drug tested my senior year, and it was scary, dude. It was very stressful. Like didn't want to get kicked out of school. It was like the only thing that I knew I was like had to be responsible about. So I became like a very hardcore alcoholic. For some reason, I didn't think like alcohol was going to be a problem. Like I don't know. Does that even like I think that still comes up on drug tests if they wanted it to, but like for some reason I like thought that was okay. So I just like drank all the time my senior year, and then I did like really like crazy amount of drugs spring break and winter break, like the first 5 days, because I knew it would probably be out of my system by the time like I would start school again after this couple weeks. So I would do like mushrooms one day, ecstasy one day, coke one day, like Xanax one day, like Vicodin, like whatever pills, like whatever I could get. But alcohol always worked for me. It was always easiest to get. It was always the most quote unquote acceptable. It always did what I needed it to do. Besides like benzos, which was like alcohol in pill form in my opinion, which I did a bunch of too. I was just drinking a ton. I was fighting with my family. They were trying to stop me, of course. One time I went to a friend's house, blacked out drink. I don't remember any of this. This is all told to me afterwards. Blacked out from drinking, like passed out, was up and down, like falling down. They would tell me I would fall down the stairs, but I wouldn't spill my drink at all. Like I was just like a freaking expert. Like I couldn't stand, I couldn't walk, I couldn't speak, but I was like so good at not spilling my drink. Like that I was like
Priorities.
yeah,
That's what matters.
yeah. So like they said I was like they sprayed me with a hose at one point. They like wrote marker on my face. They like I drew a penis on my forehead and like like typical like stupid shit like guys do, right? My first memory of this night is waking up, pressing the accelerator of my car, all right? And I look out my window and I'm like nothing's moving, like I just realized I'm pressing the gas, like I hear the engine, but the car is like not moving, like the shit's supposed to be going by as I'm moving. So I switched it in reverse. I remember this. I switch it in reverse, don't look behind me, and just slam on the gas, and I'm still not moving. Damn, this is weird. I get out and I'm on a median on a bush and my car's like 5 feet off the ground. And then like no like brown out, like don't really remember, but then I have vague memories of speaking to a police officer. So there was a cop there, and I remember we were laughing and getting along so well. Like we were best friends, you know? And I was so effed up on Xanax too. Like I took a lot of Xanax this night, which I've learned. Xanax, benzos and alcohol are a recipe for a disaster for me. Like I've become a completely different person. I like start fights and stuff like that, like for fun. Like I'm the least fighting confrontational person ever, dude. Like I do not. And like I steal stuff, like anything. Like I'm just complete different person, and I just do crazy shit. So I did a bunch of Xanax, blacked out, became best friends with this police officer, and I think that like some of that memory might have been like a little bit real. He might have just been laughing because I'm like wet with penis on my head. I have no idea that it's there, you know. And I'm just like talking to him like he's my buddy. He's probably used to people like fighting, being upset, you know, like hiding and lying. I'm probably just telling him everything, dude. He's probably like, what the F is going on here? So he does not arrest me, okay? He somehow gets a hold of my parents and they come and pick me up. I think I still had like Xanax on me. Obviously, I should have gotten a DUI and among a month reckless driving. I don't know, everything else that I could have gotten. He calls my parents and they pick me up and I don't get arrested. Am I grateful? It's just like a God thing. I'm like lucky. No, I remember like being so mad at my parents, just being an asshole, being like just pissed off at everything, like no gratitude whatsoever. All right. And this is like, I don't know, I'm like 18 years old.
Was the car totaled?
No, I don't think it was totaled. I mean, it was like dented and scratched and like messed up, but somehow I think we got a toad off that bush or something like that, and still usable. But yeah, that's kind of like how I lived, dude. I would like wake up in the morning. I didn't know like who I texted or called. I didn't know what money I spent. I didn't know if I hit anything. Like sometimes I would have shit dents on, you know, damage in my car. I have no idea what it was. I'd have scratches and bruises on me, you know, from just nights of like not remembering anything. And this is like how I functioned. When I went to college, thank God, I was like away from the regime of my parents who were, you know, not happy with how I was living. And I was like, I can do what I want when I want, which is like involve going out and getting messed up like as much as I could, obviously. I like share this too. It's like some of my friends in school when I went to the University of Florida were like, we can't go out tonight because there's like a test tomorrow or we're tired or some other stupid ass reason. And I was like, what is wrong with you people? You know, I like truly didn't get it. I was like, is this the drugs and alcohol and, you know, not working for you? Like, is it not enjoyable for you like it is for me? Like, that's a terrible excuse. Like, there was no reason not to go out and get messed up.
We would actually feel sorry for those people for not partying every night.
Yeah, I was like, dude, you could just drop that class. You could change your major, which I did a bunch of times. I failed whole years. I had nightmares, like, you know, not that bad, but like for a long time when I got sober initially, of like those nightmares where you like wake up and you don't know what class you have. But my nightmares weren't like what the test is on or anything like that. My nightmares were like I have no idea what my schedule is for this semester, like what classes I have at all. You know, where I'm supposed to be, what I'm doing, like nothing. Like usually it's like you know what class you're in, it's like a final test. Like I didn't even know what class it was. Like that's my nightmares. Like I had no idea. Like I didn't learn anything in college whatsoever. It got so bad that I like started going through some really bad withdrawals, right? And I didn't even really, again, so ignorant. I didn't even really know what they were, but I would like wake up shaking and dry heaving and cold sweats, and I'd put like towels on the bed and like have all this stuff. You know, I got so bad that I like called my parents and I was like, hey, like I'm like not doing very well. I need to come home. And I share this too. Like I actually had a girlfriend for a period of time during this, and like during my amends process, I was like, dude, I was like a fine boyfriend, you know? I didn't treat her bad at all. Like I don't even think she really like my drinking even bothered her that much, you know, like as a psycho. And then I made amends to her and she was like, you were crazy. She was like, we would yell, I would grab the vodka bottles out of your hand and pour them down the drain. I was like, I'm so oblivious in my self-centered world that I didn't even know how like negatively I affected this girl. I was like a fine boyfriend, you know, I never treated her bad.
Ironically, the girl I lived with in Gainesville, I made amends to her like a couple years ago. I actually made a video and showed her because we hadn't talked in years. I was like, you know, I'm sorry. I didn't know what addiction was. I didn't know what depression was. You know, I took all this stuff out on you. And she was like, I understand. I'm just glad you're doing good. And then I asked her a follow-up question like, do you remember that time we went to that concert the day I got out of jail? And she said, I have blocked out every day of our relationship because it was so bad. I don't remember any of it on purpose. And I was like, oh. Well, I guess I wasn't the best boyfriend after all.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, oh, we had a lot of good memories, which of course, I'm sure we had a few, that's all I remember, not like the other terrible chaos and craziness that I was involved in, with her. So I tried a cold turkey detox. Third day, I had a seizure. Another little funny story. I scheduled an eye doctor's appointment for like some reason. I don't know, like an idiot when I'm withdrawing, and they're like flashing shit in my eyes. It's
Oh.
literally like the worst possible time to like be doing like an eye test when I'm like in severe withdrawal. Like for some, I hadn't been an eye doctor forever, so I did that and like had a seizure at the eye doctor, literally, and woke up in an ambulance. The ambulance guy's like, when I opened my eyes, he's like, "Oh, you look a little bit better." And then I was in the hospital, like IVs, all sorts of stuff, and then I shared the story that the doctor came in to see me like the fifth day I was there or something. And I'm thinking my family's overreacting, it's not that big of a deal. But you've seen someone have a seizure. That shit's scary. It is not fun to watch someone have a seizure. That's like a weird, scary thing,
It's not fun to have them either.
Yeah, yeah.
That many.
My family was obviously really scared. And the doctor, like on the fifth day, was like, "Son, if you were coherent enough to like me to speak to you on the first day you were here, I would have given you a 50-50 chance to live." He's like, "What I had apparently was like bone marrow poisoning. I'm on a bunch of other stuff, which is like my body was like not producing any of its like normal minerals and vitamins and shit that it needed to like function basically, because I was just consuming so much alcohol and drugs and not doing anything else, and drinking or eating or whatever." So I'm in this hospital. I'm miserable. It's a terrible withdrawal. This is just a shitty situation. I feel like crap. And the doctor goes, by the way, son, you're going to be back in here again too. And it like blew my mind. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? You're like, what? I thought he was like an asshole. I was like, what does he mean I'm going to be back in here? I'm like, I'm not stupid. I was like, like I realized, I got carried away or whatever. Like this was miserable. Like I'm not going to be back in here. Like I'm not going to be doing what I was doing to get myself back in here. By no stretch of the imagination was it like, oh, I'm done with drinking and weed and
Just need to
coke.
control it better.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like freaking. I was like 20 or I think 20 years old, maybe something like that. Of course, I'm not done forever, but I'm not gonna do as much or that consistently or whatever. But he knew, man, which was like really interesting to me looking back. That like he must have known that I was like a real alcoholic, and like I was like not willing to do anything about it, basically. So he just must have seen it a bunch of times. Like it talks about in the book too, right? Like these doctors like really try, and these therapists and these psychologists and these people that are like really educated and like people who really care about us. That's what's like we talk about how like it's hard for us to really listen to someone who's not an alcoholic or an addict. It's way easier to like connect with someone who is because they've been through it, right? But like I almost sometimes have at least as much, if not more, respect in some ways who's not one of us, that like still takes their time to like sit and try to help like as sick, twisted people like us, you know, who like doesn't relate to it, doesn't have that personal experience, and yet still goes to school and spends their time and like cares like deeply about trying to help people like us, like which some they do help us to an extent, obviously, like therapy and all this other sort of stuff. Like, of course, it helps, but like those are like really impressive people. Like people like us, we help people because we're fucking told to and we have to, and we're like sick as shit. They don't gotta do. They don't have like instructions like that. They just like do it because I don't know why. Like they're good people, maybe or something.
And then we sit there and lie to them and tell them everything's okay. And we're not going to do that again.
Yeah. That's crazy. So yeah, so that doctor told me I was going to be back in here. He didn't try to 12-step me or do anything like that, or he didn't call like people from the rooms to come see me or anything like that. But he must have known I wouldn't have given a shit, which is 100% true. I was not ready to listen to anyone. My family forced me to go to rehab. I like to be liked. I was a good rehab person. I followed the rules that they saw. Someone stole a canister of duster from Walmart at this rehab, the very first one I was ever at. And I was like, rehab's kind of fun. I was like, we were just like go in the laundry room and like do duster in the laundry room at this rehab. Started smoking a ton of cigarettes too. I was like, I smoked like cigarettes occasionally, but like at this rehab, it's like all you do is smoke cigarettes. So it's like just constantly and like Newports and shit. It's like I didn't even know what Newports was before this rehab. Smoking a ton of Newports and reading and doing all sorts of crazy shit, but they thought I was like doing well. So by the end of it, they're like, "Oh, son, you're gonna be one of the ones who makes it. You did great. You did your goodbye letter and your coping skills and all this sort of stuff." And by no means is this like bashing rehab or any of these people, like I just talked about. Like it could be very helpful. It's a whole other topic, but they like I looked like I had done what I was supposed to do, and then within 24 hours, I was messed up again. Right. I got a lot of like crazy college stories and stuff too. Got a DUI that got dropped to reckless while I was in there. And then while I was locked up in jail, I became such good friends with my cellmates that we started a Facebook group, Alachua County Cell 20, to try to stay in touch with each other because we were just like all like just crazy people like, in Gainesville. I got arrested like on the same night. So that Facebook group no longer exists, unfortunately.
When I was in Alachua County, it was probably before things like those Facebook groups were popular. But I was in Bradford County for a while. I actually did the tour. I came to Florida to get sober and stay out of trouble. Duval County, Clay County, Orange County, Alachua, Bradford County, Broward County for one day.
Okay.
And then up to St. Lucie County. And that was how I got so.
Yeah, I got sober in St. Lucie County too, finally. I used to drive around Boca, like the Boca police like knew me too. I snuck into an abandoned house with a bunch of friends when I was 17, and we were just like smoking, drinking, and like doing mushrooms, and the cops got called and like arrested us, and we're gonna charge us with felony burglary and all sorts of crazy shit, for being in this house. That was intense, but I was 17, so I got like
it
sealed.
doesn't count.
Yeah,
They just let you go.
Yeah, but dude, they were assholes, dude. They made us like sit up, like not leaning up against anything with our hands behind our back, like really trying to scare the shit out of us as like younger kids to like not do this again. It obviously didn't work. And then I was like such like a like looking back on some of this gross stuff that I did when I was in Gainesville in college, though, it's like I was the type of alcoholic too that like I would the next morning I would like drink beers with like cigarette butts in it if that's the only alcohol I could find. Like that's so gross, One time I like stole like I like when I was in a frat for some reason. Not like I didn't join the frat, but I was like quote unquote partying, I guess, in this frat, and like stole one of the frat people's like white powder that I like found in his bunk. Thought it was cocaine, poured a fat line and snorted it, and it was Molly, and it burned so badly, and I was just like rolling face at like 3 in the morning, like trying to like hide it like that because I didn't want anyone to know that I like stole this guy's cocaine or something. But yeah, it was just scummy shit. Like I would do anything to get.
I didn't know there was so much fun in Alachua County. I would have stayed in Gainesville a little longer. I was just in my own methadone detox world.
When I got that reckless driving, I was on probation for, I think, 6 months. I got my license taken away because I refused to blow. And I would go to the probation officer shaking, like jittering from like withdrawals from benzos and alcohol. And like telling him that like I'm doing great and I'm not doing anything. And for some reason, he never violated me. Like, I don't know how he wouldn't notice, but I was like literally shaking like in his office. Like, that's how bad it was. And he just let me go, dude. So just so many crazy lucky circumstance.
I could go down the list of times I got arrested and got let go, but that brings back a memory. When I was on drug probation in fucking Palm Beach County. It started in Bradford, went to Alachua, went to Fort Lauderdale, ended up in Palm Beach because it was the places that was making me sick. I just had to, move around. Mm-hmm. And I had prescriptions for Xanax and Klonopin and Adderall. So, like, if I came positive in the test, I got prescriptions to write. Mm. But I would also eat them all the first couple days. And one time I was shaking so bad I couldn't pee. Mm. And they come and watch you pee in probation. And I'm, like, holding the cup, like, so bad. I mean, I still shake today after 20 years of benzo damage. But he actually told me I could come back in the morning and pee. And I was like, what? Okay. And he's like, I know you're on something. I know something's up, but you've been good this whole time. Come back in the morning. So I had to tell my work I'm coming late. I had to chug water the whole ride down there. Got a refill that day after probation. So I wasn't shaking anymore. Next morning, I go take a 12-panel test positive for things I have scripts for. And he's like, so what was the deal yesterday? I was like, I don't know. I think I was just dehydrated.
Yeah.
But yeah, so many bullets I've dodged. I mean, there's many other times I didn't, but
yeah, I ran from cops, got caught with weed and like all sorts of stuff all the time when I was younger and all that. I mean, Adderall it brought back too. Like people in college did Adderall and it was like, oh, it's a wonder drug. It helps me study and like pass tests. The problem is like I did Adderall, but you have to actually study too to pass the test. The drug doesn't actually give you the information for the classes. Because I did a lot of Adderall, but I still didn't know the information. So you have to do it and actually study. You can't just do the drug alone. Piece of advice out there. Went to rehab, got out the first time, got high, drunk, whatever. I don't remember what I did, but right away, right? Because you spend 30 days like nonstop being told why you shouldn't, all the consequences and blah, blah, blah. And then you go back out because I have no real defense. It started a period of just like 4 or 5 years of just more and more insanity, just like crossing lines. Like I remember one of the times when I was like, a light bulb went off to me and you hear a light bulb going off and you think of like positive shit. Like light bulbs went off for me for like negative shit too. Like I remember like I was sitting in rehab maybe the second time and someone kept talking about like pawning stuff. And I was like, that's genius. I was like, I'm not pawning. Like, that's a great way to get money. It's like, I've not been doing that enough, you know? I was like, why do I think of this, you know? I should be like pawning more stuff, you know?
It's
Like,
like
this,
when
like,
you're in jail and you hear new crimes you didn't commit. And you're like, oh, wait, I can do credit card fraud?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like sick stuff to like allow me to like figure out how to like keep maintaining like my addiction and terrible lifestyle, trying and not trying. And my parents one time found an assignment for rehab where you plan your own funeral, and they used that as an excuse to Baker Act me because they're like, "Look, police, he's like suicidal," and I was like, "Dude, this is bullshit. Like the rehab made me write this because they wanted to stop me from like to force me to go into a program or something because I didn't want to." Yeah, it's just insane stuff, dude. Trying to live on the streets, asking every friend I have for money. One time my car got impounded. I was in a halfway house, got arrested for sneaking into a hotel hot tub at 3 a.m. with a girl. I was probably like paying the girl. I don't really remember. I can't imagine anyone, like I don't know what was going on. But somehow I was in a hot tub at 3 a.m., got arrested, was smoking a lot of spice then too, because it wasn't popping at the drug test for the halfway houses then. And then my family convinced the halfway house manager to bail me out. Bails me out. My car's impounded. I somehow call a friend, get a ride to the impound lot, sneak in the impound lot. They have my ID, like they know who I am. They know that's my car. I find my car sandwiched in between two other cars. So I'm driving my car into the car in front of me to push it out of the way. So I'm like backing up and back and forth, hitting the cars in front of me, behind me, in this impound lot.
Like Austin Powers in the hallway.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. With cameras, like they have my ID. Like, where am I going? Like, I don't have money. Like, I'm trying to like steal my car out of this impound lot. Realize I like actually can't get it out, so I just like say F it and like have to like leave. And, but, like I could have gotten arrested. I just got out of jail. And like I should have gotten arrested again, like in 2 seconds. Like it's crazy, dude. And here's the insanity. Like I'm like pretty sober, right? Because it's been like 48 hours, like something like that. So it's not like I'm like high or drunk. Like this is me like without drugs.
It's crazy.
I heard this really good speaker say, like, it seems like obvious when I hear it now, but it's like the problem obviously is not that the drugs or me being high or drunk or whatever it is. It's like me being sober, because when I'm sober, it's like that's when I like do some of the craziest shit, to try to, because I'm so uncomfortable. And I always use the first one when I'm sober. So if like being sober was okay, like I wouldn't keep trying to change it. So like obviously me being sober is the issue. Like I don't know how to be sober. Like I know how to be high and drunk, but I don't know how to be sober because I keep trying to take something that makes me not sober. So obviously it's like a freaking problem.
The scariest moment of my life, I tell people, is when this last time I got out of jail and I was going to try to start over and stay sober. Because for the first time in 40 something years, I wanted to be sober. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how to live like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pay bills. I don't know how to be responsible.
Yeah.
That's a scary moment.
Yeah, it is. It is, dude. So, yeah, I'm in this psych detox place. Again, just in and out of a few different detoxes, a couple rehabs, and I did kind of want it. Like I started really want it. Because I was tired, dude. It was just like really just a draining life, like obviously if anyone's been addicted to anything, like you understand, like it gets really tiring. You don't feel enjoyment anymore, feel miserable, anxiety, feel like a piece of shit, all these things that come along with it. So like I really wanted it, and I always like to share this because I feel like it could be helpful. It's like I really worked the steps too. Like I had thought I'd done a fourth and fifth step, but I shared the times I like lied, cheated, stole, because I knew the guy across from me had done that same sort of stuff. So it wasn't like scary to share that, but I didn't share like the weird shit, the vulnerable shit, the stuff I was ashamed of. Like an example would be like running from a fight, which is like pretty stupid in the scheme of things. It's like not that big of a deal, but like for me that was like so embarrassing as a man to like share this with another man. But like that's the type of things I didn't share that fourth step, because I was like I still wanted to like portray this like image of myself instead of really getting down to like the weird shit, like stealing meds from like my grandmother who was dying. There's the shit I was like embarrassed of, like pushing my mother when I was like blacked out drunk and like fighting with my father, and like just like other shit that I didn't like to share. So I didn't share that stuff. And I thought I was working the steps. I thought I was going to a meeting, so I would go to the same meeting every week, and where everyone knew me and was very comfortable, right? I didn't like being uncomfortable. And then I got to the amends steps, and I was like, all right, I'm going to slow down. I have the second most sobriety in my 6-person halfway house. All right? So, like, I'm crushing it. You know, like this is going on in my head, right? I'm like, I should run the halfway house. I have some like shitty job, like doing paperwork for like a construction company, but I'm like, should run this company. Like my family needs to trust me way more than they do. You know, I need like a hot girlfriend, but at the same time of all these like ego control, like thinking I'm the shit, like self-esteem, like is zero, right? Like no self-confidence. Like the thoughts of like, if you knew me, you would like know that I'm a piece of crap and not deserving or worthy of anything. Like I'm not really worthy of love. I'm not really worthy of good things. Like I can fake it. I can put on this show. You know, I can think that I need these things, but like deep down, like I know I'm not deserving or worthy. Well, that's like a really shitty place to be, obviously, right? So I'm not really working the steps. Like I'm kind of working them. I get to the amends and I'm like, you know, I'm going to slow down. Those seem very humbling. Like I'm already doing good. I don't need to like go apologize. It's very uncomfortable. So there's no like spirituality. There's no God. Like I hear God. I probably said the word God because that's what you're supposed to say in these rooms. But there's no like higher power. There's no, that's just what bullshit people say because they don't know how to describe things. It's like, oh, it's God. It's like, all right, yeah, you can say that. But like, what is it really? You know, like, okay, that just makes you sound cool because you're like talking about God. That's what I really thought. Like, these people like wanted to sound good.
Not to get you off track.
No, you're good.
But there's so many people that say, yeah, God is great. I got this, I got this. It's like, you only have that because you stopped smoking crack.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not God. Like, you're just not being a complete piece of shit. That's not God.
Yeah.
And you keep saying God like you know what it is, but I know you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I know the truth. I know you're banging tranny prostitutes after the meeting on Saturdays. But whatever. Keep talking about God.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's like, there's no way these people could be like so spiritual and connected and like, oh, it's like God does this. I'm like, that's not like a real thing. Day-to-day basis. Like I've lived life for 30 years and I've never seen God. God's never spoken to me clearly. Like I've just been living life, like doing my decisions and dealing with my consequences, you know? So I relapse obviously, but like my point was like I could try to do the steps like half-assed, and all that builds for me is ego. It builds for me ego. It doesn't really work on the core issues. Doesn't really build my self-esteem. It doesn't fill that spiritual cup. It doesn't get me connected to the real power and the real source that like actually helps me to not be a selfish asshole. It actually helps me to make decisions that are not solely based on a ton of fear. That's the source, man. So like working the steps just to like put on a show or make myself feel a little bit better, or kind of like not really do them fully, like not really be vulnerable, not be uncomfortable, not do the things that I don't want to do or that don't make sense, only doing the things that make sense or that like I'm comfortable with, that shit doesn't work for me. But again, I don't have the ability to do that uncomfortable stuff unless I get like beaten and beaten and beaten. So that was the time, man. I just like that last time in this crappy ass detox. I think it was like Delray Medical Center, Fair Oaks. I went to Fort Lauderdale Behavioral Hospital, like not nice places. One time I got put in a room with a geriatric patient because their geriatric unit was full, and it was down at the very end of the hall, me and this older man who was just like pissing and shitting himself and trying to get out of bed and couldn't make it to the bathroom, would fall down, and I'm like withdrawing bad, and I have to get out of my room, like basically like almost crawl, but like walk slowly out and start screaming for the tech to like help this man. And like when they couldn't come because they were fucking down the hallway a mile, so I'm like trying to lift this man, and I'm thinking like that was like a God experience for me. I'm like, dude, this is like, is this like God like trying to like tell me to like help other people or be selfless or all these like shit they talk about in the rooms, like while I'm like withdrawing and detoxing, I have to like help this man. I have like no desire to whatsoever, but I can't just let him like piss himself like on the floor, you know? So I'm like trying to help this man, like trying to ask for help. It was a crazy situation, but I didn't like bitch. I didn't complain. I was just like, this is like what I did to myself. That's another thing. Like people that come to rehabs and they're like very entitled and very spoiled. I wasn't like necessarily that kind of person. Like I knew like, dude, I don't deserve anything. Like if you give me meds, if you give me food, I have a roof over my head, that's like great for me. You know, like I'm grateful for that. I didn't just think I deserved or were entitled to very much when I was in these places. Even when it was like a shitty situation, like I knew these people had a hard ass job, like they're putting up with us and like, you know, get paid a ton of money, especially the techs and shit. So I don't think I was like necessarily ever like really an asshole in treatment per se. What about you? How were you? Were you ever go to treatment? No?
I was talking to my friend the other day because I'd love to go to like New Horizons for a week. And I talk about bigger acting myself all the time, like just to see what it's like. And because I probably need it. But I went to an IOP in 2007 where I was introduced to AA and all that stuff. But besides that, I go directly to jail every time. Do not pass go. Do not go to detox. I'm always thrown in jail.
Yeah.
And I've always been arrested on drugs. And
do you think you would like appreciate if you went to rehab? Like, how do you think you would be?
See, because I had been to horrible experiences and horrible jails and sat there and said, never again. This is it. I'm done. And got out and been high on the ride from the jail. So I'm pretty sure I always say, man, if someone offered me treatment, I would have been sober so long ago. No, it'd probably be the same shit. I probably would have learned new tricks.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what gabapentin and Seroquel was in jail, so much as I learned. I forget the point. There's this dog on my lap. Like, if I had went to detox years ago instead of jail, I probably would have learned about spice and duster and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
different drugs that it wasn't
Dude,
in
we
my
smoked
wheelhouse.
banana peels in a detox one time. I don't even know if that, I still today don't know if that
No,
actually does
I
anything.
tried that because I think it was in the Anarchist Cookbook
Yeah.
in like 1992. We also duct taped the banana with a piece of gum in it, let it sit for like 3 days, and it was supposed to be like acid, and it wasn't. A whole bunch of fake drug recipes we got tricked into as kids.
Yeah. Do you ever know the website Arrowwood?
Yes.
You know that? Dude, that's like an old reference. Like, not a lot of people know about that.
It's got
Like,
the
have you ever
description
been-
of every drug
Yeah,
and what
dude,
it
you
does.
could look up any drug and any interaction and everything. That shit was awesome.
So I started getting high in like the early 90s when the internet was just starting. I always had a computer because I made a website in like 1990 something, whatever. I was an internet kid. And on AOL, there was alt.drugs. And it was just all about drugs and you could buy shit real easy. And I was getting so much GHB from England. And it would come in these, it said paint sample on the bottle. And it was just full of powder. And it was the fucking best thing that's ever existed in the history of the world. Because real GHB, you take a scoop and it's like 6 beers.
Wow.
And then you wake up with no hangover.
You know what I never did? DMT.
Never did it straight.
What about Quaaludes? All the old people talk about them.
My
Like they're fucking
uncle
greatest thing ever.
was a pill hoarder. So when I started doing drugs, he had a tackle box full of drugs. And well, he was a hoarder for everything, but he had a tackle box full of different drugs. And he had like Black Beauties, Quaaludes, fucking all different weird pills,
Damn.
different types of weed that had expired 20 fucking years ago. So me and my friend would, dip in and try everything. So like I have done Quaaludes, but I don't remember exactly because I probably just passed out and didn't enjoy it. But then when I moved on to Somas, and I realized if I take 10 Somas, it kind of feels like a Quaalude. Years of doing that.
Dude, that was like my fantasy. It was like just to have a tackle box of like every drug that like, so if I need to get like a little bit like up and go a little bit down, go a little, like
Yes.
just have that like unlimited amount of like all these different drugs. Cause like that's how I thought you need to function in life.
Yes.
You have like every kind of drug.
The
So
thing
then
is,
you can just take whatever you need.
every time I got close to having that collection, I take all of something.
Yeah. And there's never really like, it's never really going to happen
No.
for me.
When
either.
we used to buy drugs in New York City, they'd have delivery services, and the guy would come in with a fucking pizza box, like he's delivering pizza.
See, I never got
Open
that,
it
dude.
up, and it's just like 40, 50 different types of drugs.
Oh,
and as long as you got the money, you can get whatever you want. But I wasn't
I
like
never had money either. That was another problem.
yeah, I wasn't a full blown junkie back then. So like the friends I was with were buying like weed. It's like Jesus Christ, there's fucking amphetamines, benzos, every real drugs here. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Let's
Oh, I
smoke
was
weed.
friends with a lot of really big marijuana dealers, like back in the day too, like pounds and pounds, and they would show me. And like when anyone who like loves weed, it's like every time you go, you always got to take it and smell it, and you got to talk about the crystals and the little hairs on it, and it's like we were all like fucking experts and really know shit. And I go, like it didn't matter like what it looked like, but we were always like so fascinated by like the purple parts of the nugs and everything. It was
If
like
I see people with weed, I still smell it to this
Oh,
day.
yeah, me
because
too.
Just something about it.
Oh yeah, dude, it was like a lifestyle. It was like a whole culture thing, dude. I
A
like,
high time subscription.
yeah, just playing with it and holding it was like just as good as smoking it back then. Yeah. So all right. So I'm in some shitty place, and then spirituality wasn't real, and God. I think there's probably a God. I'm sure there's a God, but I don't like think that it's real. Like it's not like it's like a flimsy reed. It's very abstract. It's very airy. It's not real solution, But I was so desperate then. I was like, I'm willing to do anything, and instead of like thinking like, okay, I'm gonna like work some of these steps. I'm gonna go to so I'm trying to find a solution and like map it out in my head. I remember thinking like I need there to be like this power that people talk about, right? Like there has to be a God. There's no thing now that is powerful enough to help me. Like I don't know what to do. Like I've tried with my willpower, I've tried with my intellect or my quote unquote intelligence. But they're like I need there to be some sort of power, and I hadn't been in enough rooms and meetings and stuff where people like talk about this. So I was like, instead of like figuring out a plan, I was like, I'm gonna do whatever anyone tells me that might get me connected to this power that people keep talking about, right? Like this God thing. So that's the mindset I left with, and went to some program in Fort Pierce that's not even really around anymore, and listened and did everything I was supposed to, and found a sponsor that was like really like excited and passionate about life. He's no longer here, Brian Beatty. I don't know, you probably heard his name. I don't know.
Many, many times.
Yeah, he was like crazy, just amazing person. Like just not like a normal person, dude. Like really like just connected spiritually and like selfless, and like he would like pray. He would text me, "I love you. I hope you have a great day." Ask about my family, and it was so weird and uncomfortable for me, dude.
To have
Like
somebody care, it's
yeah,
so
like
strange.
I was so like just like baffled by this. It was like so awkward when he would like do this and like care, and like I was like, dude, you're like a cool dude, and like you have like a whole life. Like, why are you concerned about any of this stuff for me? But he like really demonstrated like spiritual principles, and like demonstrated like what this power meant, and like introduced me to the fellowship, and like what it meant to like really give of yourself and be of service and like help people, and all these like crazy things that I didn't really truly believe had like value. He like demonstrated these things to me, as well as like walking me through the program. So he was like really instrumental to me. I just did whatever was told to me. And that's the coolest thing about the program, dude. It's like even despite myself, like so much fear, so low self-esteem, so much control, ego, assholeness, anger, like whatever it is, like so many defects. Like all I do is just like follow other people that are like doing the right shit, I guess, and just show up, which is another thing I like to think that this program works. Like the best thing I do, and I still do, is I just kind of like show up. Like I show up around other people that are like positive people. I show up to some meetings. I show up to like my sponsor. I show up to a couple sponsees. I show up to like a commitment or some service or whatever whenever it's like available or someone asks me to do something. I just like show up like with my crazy ass thinking, and like I stay sober, and like people think I'm like an okay person, and like I still am shocked by that, you know? I'm like I still wake up, like sometimes I wake up and I'm like I'm not really actually sober. Like how long am I going to keep this lie going? But I'm like all right, but when did I get high? And I have to like really think. I'm like I know I must have gotten high, and I have to like think about it. And I'm like, "Oh my god, like I can't think of any time I got drunk or high like in a long time." Like, you know, that's how sick I am. Like I don't even believe that I'm like sober for 12 years, or like that I'm like a good person. I'm like I must be doing some bad shit, like, you know. But I don't think I'm not like doing anything like that bad, like normal bad stuff, you know. But nothing like that's like shockingly bad.
Every morning when I wake up a different person. And
Yeah.
I don't get out of bed until I pray, because there's that window where I wake up as Leroy. And Leroy's angry, hates people, hates going to work, loves drugs, loves fighting, loves stealing. That's my favorite thing. And like, that's how I wake up. Sobriety, God, all that bullshit, that's whatever. And then I have to take time to pray to let God take over, because I am a horrible person. I do strange things. I'm weird. I have to let God take over. And don't get me wrong, a good portion of the day, Leroy comes back out and fucks things up. But I actually let God do his thing. I don't get arrested. I don't get high. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. So I mentioned to you about these people on like social media that are like really bashing AA, and like they're like think it's like the literally the worst possible thing ever. Like I just don't understand that. It's like
Are they people that were once in AA?
yes. So
Okay.
they were in AA. So here's the thing. They were in AA. They couldn't get sober. They got sober through AA. And now they're like, oh, it's so hard to leave. And like people destroyed me. And I was like, I felt like I was going to die if I left AA, and I couldn't function. And I'm like powerless forever. And like blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you know, like you're not allowed to leave. And I'm like, I don't get it's crazy the amount of tension. You know, I understand a little bit of it. Like, you don't have to agree with it and stuff like that. But I mean, there's just so much more positive than there is negative, in my opinion.
It's the person. Because I know that when I went into meetings thinking this is boring, everyone's hugging each other, this is stupid, they're talking about God and love, these are the worst people ever. I remember really feeling that way. But then all these years later, going into probably an identical meeting with the same people doing the same thing, I'm like, these are the best people ever. Everyone accepts me for the way I am. Everyone actually cares about other people. So it's the person that's fucking it up. Whoever those people are, they're the problem.
Yeah, and they talk about how hard it is to leave. Like, dude, I know a lot of people that left. Like, I don't really give a shit. I don't judge them or like fight them or like hate them. Like, I don't care. Like, you know,
The worst you're gonna get is someone checking in on you,
Yeah,
like, "Hey, are you
exactly.
okay?"
Yeah, if you don't come to meetings anymore, I don't like not like you anymore. Like, I just don't care. Like, it's like I hope you're okay. Like, I do. Like, I hope you're all right. Like, whatever. You know, some people are okay and don't go. You know, do anything, and that's good for them. Some people aren't, and I feel really bad for them. But it doesn't like I don't don't like fight them that you must stay and like keep coming. It's like, dude, it's like do whatever you want.
I could
you
have
know?
to check these people out.
So how was that? Did I do all right? Did I
Yeah,
talk to
it
them
was
about
fucking
enough stuff?
great.
I don't know.
But at the end, I always have someone like advice or like, what would you say to someone who doesn't think they can be sober? Or what do you think of someone who's never been to a meeting? Whatever. But like, I try to make a couple of them.
This is such a positive podcast. I was expecting like more ratchet shit, you know?
Well,
I don't know you're actually trying to help
I
people
had
with
a
this.
okay, yes, that's the thing. It's about being crazy, but helping the people that are just as crazy as us.
Yeah.
Because of my personal experience, I mean, looking back, I might be wrong, but I never met anyone as fucked up as me. So when you're talking to me about being sober, you're talking to me about meetings, I'm thinking, you haven't done what I've done. You haven't been where I've been. You couldn't understand. And that was my attitude until I actually met people this time, and I was like, oh, some of these people are worse than me. Like, these people done more time than me. They've been locked up more than me. They've detoxed worse than me. They've overdosed more than me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, maybe there is hope. So, like, because I wasn't exposed to that, I feel like, well, maybe there's a way to expose people that were like me. So somebody can watch or hear and be like, yeah, you know, you could really relate to this guy. He's been through the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it like attraction rather than promotion. If you give someone a big book and say, here, do this, they're going to say, fuck you. If you meet somebody and you're like, hey, you ever shoot coke in your dick? Do you like prostitutes? Come with us. You know, you have a better chance of engagement, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think your intention's good and you're trying, and I think you can connect to people that a lot of people can't connect with. You know,
I'm trying.
those are those are the people that need it the most, and those are the people that end up being the fucking most like influential and powerful. The people that are the most sick and crazy and have the weirdest fucked up stories are the ones that like really can do the most good.
Yes.
You know.
One of my friends who's sober again, he's at the Saturday night meeting. He is one of the most fucked up people I've ever met. Most disturbed stories, so many fucking crazy sneaking drugs in a rock road and getting high and being in fucking psychosis and fighting guards, just constantly relapsing. Whole life's been relapsing. Finally, like this time, the last year, he started to understand and like put it together. And now when I hear him speak at a meeting, it is like I get chills because he knows so much and it's so powerful when it comes out from him. Like you said, the most fucked up people
Yeah.
can do the most good.
That's like probably the message I would want to share. It's like because and even talking to myself, it's like those chronic relapsers, those people that just relapse over and over and over. And like I've tried to sponsor them, I'm friends with them. Like I was kind of one back in the day. Those people that even today, like sometimes I get tired and annoyed. I'm like, he's never gonna get it. Like it's a waste. Like you're not even taking it seriously. It's like bothers me that they like keep going back out. But that's stupid, right? Because I'm glad those people keep coming back. I'm glad they keep trying because when and hopefully one day they do kind of get it or something happens and they stay sober, like you said, those are the people that are like end up being the best speakers and the most influential and the most powerful and connect to the most people. And like that's like the real, I don't know, maybe they tap into more power than people who haven't relapsed a bunch. I don't know, it's weird. But like the
I
people
think-
that never can get it and actually get it is very powerful.
Yes, and then they're an example to the other chronic relapsers.
Yeah.
But I was explaining the other day, I say the other day like it was weeks ago, it was last night, that like normal people can't understand what we've been through. That's understandable. But normal people can't understand our relationship with God. And I think it's the lower you were and the worse it was, it's almost like you're more connected because today it's so fucking good. And I was explaining in my life how I'm stressed out. My job sucks. I'm doing this. I'm always fucking under these pressure from these self-imposed deadlines and all this shit and the sky's always falling. Well, my life was so fucking bad. Like 7 years ago that I was suicidal. I couldn't function, detoxing from different things, tested positive for 8 drugs when I got arrested. I hated fucking being alive.
Yeah.
And now today, I'm stressed out because I can't do all the things I want to do to try to help people. Or I can't go to 10 meetings a day. I can't do this. My life is so fucking good today because my relationship with God is so tight. But it's only this way because it was that fucking bad.
Yeah,
Years
there
ago.
were years I didn't care about being alive either. Just wanting, like, I didn't do drugs to get high. I did it to black out my brain, just to turn off my mind, like just to become unconscious
Yes.
because I couldn't even fathom 2 seconds of reality.
Being
like, you know?
sober.
Yeah, like I just had to do enough drugs to like just knock myself out. And when I was awake, it was misery. And you're right, and that is why God's so powerful. And like today, like I don't feel like I'm like a super faithful, like super connected person. Like I even still today, I have like over 12 years of sobriety, right? And even today, sometimes I hear people like really like just feel so much confidence, so much faith, and like love God. And trust me, like I get that. Like God's the answer. Like that's the whole reason I'm sober. Like I know that's the whole point of the steps and all that. But like the one thing I do really well sometimes, even when I don't feel super connected, is I keep seeking. And I know it's like like cliche, right? But like throughout my whole sobriety, like I'm always like trying to like listen to how people found God and like pray in a different way or read a different book or journal or I even gone to different churches and I've gone to like Buddhist meetings. I've done a Tony Robbins seminar. I've listened to Native American freaking shit. Like I just do weird stuff, just like anything that can get me connected to spirituality. I've read like several different books on it. So I just always know like that I gotta keep seeking that spirituality, even when I don't know exactly or like what it is sometimes or like feel super connected to it. Like I'm always looking for it, if that makes sense.
Well, the big book specifically says failure to enlarge your spiritual life.
Yeah.
You know, you're guaranteed to fucking drink again.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that. I don't know many people from our crew that, you know, Mr. fucking sobriety and then I'm burned out on meetings. I'm not going to go anymore. I'm just going to live life. Fucking fucked up again.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to try doing this. But it really always relates to a girl that someone meets. But that's a whole other fucking story.
And like the people say like, oh, you go out for because you're not staying connected to God, you're not going to meetings. That stuff is definitely true. But like what like girls that took me out a bunch. That will take people out like all the time. Right?
Number one, they say resentments are the number one offender,
Yeah.
but it's really women.
Money, financial insecurity, greed, like jobs, like anything work or money related, which is also a reason like people stop doing recovery because they think they have to work too much. But I think it's like women, work/money.
I always tell people, you make that job your higher power, you make that girl your higher power.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you put something before God and recovery, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like it might work a little, it might take a long time, but no matter what, you gotta be fucked. Because once God starts slipping in that position of important things in life, maybe shooting up a little on just Friday will be okay.
Yeah.
Like a closing statement, just advice, like 60 seconds of whatever. Like, what would you tell somebody?
What would I tell people? Don't mix benzos and alcohol.
No.
No?
Because that's going to make me talk about my benzo detox too much. No, you can say whatever you want. I won't interrupt. But just like, if you ever seen any of the clips, just like, you know, for somebody out there who's a chronic relapser, for someone, whatever, just some advice.
If you don't understand or know what you're doing, that's fine. You're exactly in the right place. It's okay if you don't understand God. If it's okay if you don't want to do AA. It's okay if you don't know what people are talking about. You don't feel like you're the same as them. You know, think it's going to work for you. Whatever it is, you're perfectly fine. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Just keep showing up and just doing what someone else, you're going here, maybe you get a sponsor. Just do what he tells you to do. And no matter what's going on in your head, you're going to be okay. And that shit will change eventually.
Very good.
That's my best advice, I guess.
Thank you. That's good. But drinking in benzos is a big thing.
Should I sing a song?
That would be awesome.
No, I can't.
I am a horrible person.
Thank you for watching The Recovery Idiot. Like and subscribe and visit our website and buy something to support this nonsense, you cheap bastards. Find us on all the social medias, endless places to post your nudes. If your stash is confiscated, there is always bottles of cough medicine available at a store near you. If it doesn't show up in a halfway house test, is it even a relapse?